What the fuck is up, everybody? Take a seat. Take a seat. Courts in sesh. How's it going? Hope everybody's doing good. No sunglasses, no mustache, just meatball. Don't worry, I'm still a cool judge. Maybe the coolest. We're talking about the weird kids at school today. And if you're the weird kid at school, please call. Like we're here to hear both sides. This is not a bullying episode. I just want to hear about how fucking weird you or this other kid was. And I want to hear what your weird motherfucking ass was doing. Like, I want to hear all of it. Because first of all, I've been weird as fuck my whole life. I've been the weird kid at school plenty of times. What's up? Have a great stream. You too, man. Thanks for popping in. I've been the weird kid. Yo, I've been the smelly kid at school. Freshman year, I got taken outside by my second period teacher. And he was like, yo, I don't know what's going on, dog, but you stink. And I was like, oh no. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I honestly didn't know, but I have PE right before this. And I don't know, but I will do everything I can to not ever have to hear this again. Cause I was so scared. It was such a feeling. I'm just getting sweating right now just thinking about it. But you know what? It made me try to make sure I was never stinky. So it helped me. You know what I mean? I can't tell you. I might have been the weird kid forever if he didn't tell me I was the stinky kid. You know what I'm saying? So call in 540-583-4464. Tell me about the weird kid at your school, especially if it was you. Before I go, I was definitely the weird kid. Don't leave then, bro. Don't leave. This could be it. This is your time. What the fuck is this shit? It's a courtroom, bro. It's a court show and we're taking calls. Have you ever seen a judge drink a beer? That's the coolest a judge can get. Oh my God. I just broke my lighter opening this beer. Still opened it though. Man. Fuck the chug. I was about to chug that beer and I was like, no, not doing it. So as it turns out, when I was looking into this topic, there ended up being a ton of subreddits about this shit. There's always that white kid that smells like piss, never not white. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, bro. Piss is a common smell in kids. Like it, and you could be any age. Like there's always somebody at school that smells like piss. That's a great input, Chad. You really hit the nail on the head there. So let's pull it up. Let's go to Reddit and we'll read that shit until it's time not to. Oh my God. I almost just. But go ahead and call 540-583-4464. That's 540-JUDGING. And tell me about the weird kid at your school. Until then, I'll just read this shit. In high school, this kid would regularly pick his nose and eat it in class. That's definite weird kid behavior. He was also caught masturbating to girls in the school library and on a school bus. That's more than weirdo behavior. This is now a criminal case. He got suspended for a week and had to register as a sex offender. One of those things is right and one of those things is wrong. One of those punishments was not correct. Suspended for a week? That's not right. They had to see this fool again on Monday. He just had his dick out in the library last Monday and now he's back. Just fucking ready to whip it out again on the bus? What are you talking about? Plus it happened more than once, suspended for a week. Like registered as a sex offender, that sounds extreme, but the other part, like no, it doesn't. He should. Masturbating in front of people is fucking sex offender behavior. That is a sex offense, 100%. Update, he was 17, is no longer a registered sex offender, and was able to go to college. I don't know if that's good or not, bro. I don't know whether to be stoked for him or not. They didn't really say if he turned it around. First off, fucking guilty. I'm gonna go ahead and, you should not have done that. That's no good, bro. Don't do that. Man. Maybe the kids at my school was hyper fixated on making fun of the white kids though. That's funny. White kid also smell like wet dog when it rains. Oh, you guys were just making fun of white kids. That's fun. I'm with it. Go for it. Why aren't my fucking YouTube comments on there? I don't know. Strange. The story escalated quickly from the nose picking. Absolutely. It started out so lighthearted. Well, there was a frog boy. All he did was run around in the woods, catching lizards, frogs, and raising tadpoles in a bucket. He just loved animals. I gotta tell you, you're not making me not like this kid. The black kids at my school smell like wet laundry. See what happened now? Now this has become a racial thing. I would like to hear about weird people, and I guess I would also like to know what race they are, just for data. But I don't think this needs to be a racist episode. I don't know if this needs to be a racist episode. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's what we're doing. He had ADD before ADD was a thing, so he was labeled active, and our teacher would sometimes just let him run around out of the classroom and do a couple laps. He was just crazy energetic, but all smiles. He super glued the woodshop tools to the wall. I like this kid. First of all, I would like to hang out with this guy. He covered the school kitchen with flour, that kind of stuff. What a prankster. He went on to be a professional cross rider. That's so funny. He's just a disruptor, bro. This guy was just... Oh, man. The where are they now aspect of it is mostly what I want to hear about. If you know what happened to these fucking weirdos, or you now, that's just as good as what happened then. Like, that's, or better. You know, this chat isn't active enough for you to be saying crazy shit in there because it just sits right on screen for the whole time. Weird kid at my high school tied a string around his pencil case and pulled it around the halls pretending it was a dog. He still lives in my hometown, I think unemployed. Also, the weird girl in middle school acted like a cat. She would meow and hiss at people and lick the water fountain and rub her body on the teacher's legs. That one's more troublesome than the other ones. In 8th grade, I have no idea where she ended up. The pound. That's crazy. I mean, if you want to act like a cat, knock yourself out. When I was 14, I used to say I wanted to be a pirate. Like, I'm not saying I'm any less stupid than this fucking cat girl, because I'm not. But, damn. It's like if, okay, she wants to hiss at people. I get it. That's a natural reaction, even if you're not a cat. Sure. Lapping up the water fountain, that's fun. Who wouldn't like that? But rubbing up on teachers' legs, that should get you and them in trouble. Even if you initiated it, that gets them in trouble. Everybody should get in trouble. Ooh, we getting a call. Man, just yelling at the baby, don't worry.
What's up, baby?
What up, dog?
Yeah, just chilling. How are you?
Good, man. Just doing my dizzle,
Oh, yeah. Well, there was this one kid at my school. His name was Anthony Mora.
Oh, full name. We're going for it.
His name was fucking Anthony Mora. Anthony Mora, if you're listening, you grew up to be all right. You were an annoying ass kid, though.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man. Like, when you're a kid, your mom knows everything to you. And this kid, was a big, mom differ. He was big on mom differ. And when I tell you that this kid got his ass whooped every day, like it's for sure. He got his ass whooped every day by me, plenty times. He always came back, and I was all, and just like he always came back and was steady, didn't give a fuck, dissed moms.
I'm glad that he didn't
Like when we
change.
got
I like hearing about
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
that doesn't
but-
learn their lesson. Like he just really doubles down
Mhm.
every day.
I know we decided to keep race out of this, but he was Portuguese, and they could take a lot.
That's true. That's
so they can take a lot of shit, dude. So yeah, this fucking guy Hayward. I don't know if you know either, but Hayward. I went to school in Hayward, and Hayward was a really like Portuguese like city. There's a lot of Portuguese people there. It's crazy. There's history behind it. But anyway, this kid, Anthony Mora, used to steady come back every ass whoop and didn't give a fuck. That motherfucker would get up and diss your mom to your face again. No problem.
I like it,
like,
bro.
When we got older, we realized that like he had a shitty fucking like home, like
Oh no,
you know
it was
what I mean?
really
Like-
about his mom? Really? He just hated his mom?
yeah.
Whiz,
like,
bro.
a shitty
I
lifestyle.
wasn't expecting that, to be honest with you.
We didn't find this out till high school because I didn't go to middle school with him, but when I went to high school, like we went to the same high school. And
So this
of
kid's
course,
getting
now
his
he's a
ass beat all
gangbanger.
night, and then they send him to school, and then he's going to school, and you guys are beating his ass and sending him home. Then his mom's beating him up again. You know what I'm saying? It's like quite a cycle for this
Like,
fool.
bro, like we were fifth graders and like fourth. I had this kid in like maybe a third grade class, a fourth grade class, and a fifth grade class, 3 years in a row. You feel me? So, and when I tell you, like, I've socked this man dead in his temple in class in front of the teacher. You feel me? Just for saying some stupid shit, like just dead, just boom, dropped him, one punch. You know what I mean? Like my mom remembers this kid, Anthony Mora. If I say that name to my mom, she'll remember that little motherfucker that I used to beat his ass all the time. I've seen him. There was a point one time he was getting his ass beat, so like a couple kids was beating his ass. I was gonna throw a race in there, but I decided not to. A couple of kids was beating his ass, and I fucking like had to be like, "Hey y'all, we always beat his ass. Let's not beat his. Y'all need to stop, bro. Come on, bro."
Hey,
I don't-
we really been beating him up a lot lately. Let's roll it back a little bit.
Yeah, but like I'm talking about like this kid we did show and tells in my fifth grade class a lot. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and this kid would bring the stupidest items from his house, and it would be like, and we didn't realize like he was bringing these old ass games because he didn't have the new shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like you realize like, oh, this kid was dirt poor, really getting fucked with at home as well. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
But that doesn't mean something. He didn't understand what you understand when you have a job. Leave that bullshit at the house. You know? You feel me? He brought that shit straight to school, and we didn't give a fuck.
I mean, you guys taught him a valuable lesson. Like he was talking crazy and you checked him. That's the best thing you could do for somebody. If you guys didn't beat his ass, he could be talking crazy to anybody. You know what I mean? And when you say he ended up
Like,
okay,
I
what
was
happened to him later?
Well, I mean, he's an adult and like has a job and shit. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's still probably like dirt poor, but
Are you Facebook friends with him?
you know what I mean? No, fuck no. Why would I do that?
I don't know, so you can find him, beat his ass.
No, bro. Like when I beat this kid's ass a good 25 times. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like,
it's
for
squashed,
sure, like,
or if
really
he saw
fucking-
you, if you bumped into him at the mall tomorrow and he said, fuck your mom, are you going to fight him again?
No, we fought in high school again, but like just on some like gang shit. You feel me?
Oh, that's so funny that you didn't even think to mention that part at all. That's fantastic.
Like when we met in high school again, he was a Norte. You know what I mean? So like it was like, oh nigga, okay, cool, that's what's up. And then one day he tried to bang on me type shit. You feel me? Like also like, you know what I mean? Like, oh nigga, I'm big and bad now, nigga. And I told him straight up, bro, I used to whoop your ass every single day, and I'm not gonna lie, that nigga took off on me.
Oh
I'm
shit.
not even gonna tell you. I'm not gonna stay with you. That nigga took off on me, but that don't mean he beat my ass. I fucking slaughtered this nigga.
Sometimes they just
man.
surprise you. Sometimes it's just a surprise. You're like, oh, we're fighting. Oh, it's a fight now. Okay.
No, I think he really took it to heart when I was like, bro, I used to beat your ass every day. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's hated
And, like,
you
right
for
when I
fucking
said that-
10 years. He waiting. He wanted to be. He joined the gang so he could fuck you up. Like that's this whole point in his life was to fuck you up. Like it was all building to this moment, and then you fucked him up again.
Yeah, he shouldn't have fucking played with me. What the fuck? You know what I mean?
He should have known.
should've
He really
knew,
should have
like,
known
if
not
I
to
was
fuck
a-
with you, for real.
If I was a kid beating your ass, if I was a fucking kid beating your ass all the time, like, what made you think I wouldn't be a high school kid and I wouldn't beat your ass? What, you think, like, I joined a gang, what? You joined a gang and now you're like, what? Nah, it don't work like that. It actually works the opposite of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? But yeah, that kid, I mean, I've had conversations with him, like, after that and shit, you know what I mean? Like, because I know a lot of Nortes too, and I'm cool as fuck with a lot of Nortes, you know what I'm saying? So,
Well, I'm glad to know it wasn't
There's
just
no way
gang
that
related.
would've-
I'm glad you just still had truck with the
There's-
same kid.
like, you know, there's no way that none of his partners or none of, like, anybody that I fucks with, they respect me more than they respect his dumb ass, for sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been around, but,
I don't think that's
I'm
how
just not
gangs are
Norte,
supposed to
yeah.
work, but I believe you.
nigga, no, I promise you. I promise you. These niggas, bro, like, you know why motherfuckers be like squares? There's squares everywhere. You know what I mean?
True. That's really true.
Boom.
Man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, beat that kid's ass every day, and he also was like, he smelled like pee too. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, he was the key kid. I at least you realize, like, okay, we didn't know till later it was fucked up. Like, at least you know it was fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? You learned your lesson already. What am I gonna do? What can I teach you that life hasn't already taught you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey, who the fuck is this in the comments? Hold on, bitch. No father in you. Your homes. Your
He called
father
you
should have beat both of your
fatherless.
asses.
he called you fatherless.
Oh,
I actually, guess
damn,
what? I
dog.
didn't delete it. He said comment was deleted, but I didn't delete it. So maybe it got moderated on. Thanks for calling, Chet. I appreciate you, dog.
Love you, bro.
Love you. Does being a degenerate in the family count as being a weird kid? No, you just gotta be fucking weird, bro. Yo, so I was like always I was like on the fringe of the popular group, even all through elementary school, because I was also getting made fun of a lot. So like it was sometimes when you get made fun of a lot, you also crack a lot of jokes. Like I'm coming back at these kids a lot. So I'm saying funny things. So I'm friends with these kids. Like I still had friends, but I was also still getting capped on sometimes. So like I wasn't like in the main popular group of kids. So then when like middle school, high school rolls around, then I'm like hanging out with mostly the weirder kids. Like we're hanging out with like the fucking Nightmare Before Christmas sweatshirt kids. We're hanging out with those kids that had like those pants that had the straps that are connected to the other legs. Like I'm hanging out with the weird kids. Cause guess what? Weird kids like that are the most accepting kids you can fuck with at school. They only hate you if you're a popular kid. Other than that, they will be cool to you no matter what. What year was I born? 1990. So I'm hanging out with these weird guys because I'm also weird. Like, you know what I mean? This is the same year I found out I was a smelly kid. So obviously I'm no better than these guys. Like, but so what ended up happening was then like a couple years later when I did get popular, like I still had like a whole sliding scale of weird ass friends to lame normal friends. Like, the whole spectrum. I'm friends with all these weirdos because I'm one of them. I'm one of everybody. I'm like one of those round pegs. I fit in anywhere. But also when I did finally get popular, way more fun, right? Like they weren't fronting on that one. It was worth it. I wasn't wrong to know that that was the better life. Stayed west and with the punks and shit. They smoked weed with you. Fuck yeah, these kids would smoke weed. I was only pretending to smoke weed at this point. And I was like talking with them about smoking weed so I could sound cool. Like I'm trying to sound cool to these weirdos. So when I say weirdos, like I was just trying to fit in with these fools too. So I say it with love. But like these are like, hey, hold around. This fool bends over in the quad and hits his pipe. He opens his backpack, the front pocket, the little one where you put your pencils and shit, and he leans in and he's fucking smoking a pipe, and we're all just huddled around him talking. And he comes up and he's trying to let it out smoke. It immediately smells like shit. We're like, it smells horrible. What happened? He comes up and his whole eyelashes are like full on burned off, like very like curled back and blonde, full on melted eyelash, bro. Fantastic. Those kids do not give a fuck. They'll smoke weed on the bus. Those are the kids that smoke weed. Like nobody else, no other freshmen smoke weed except for those rocker fools. Like for real. It's as true as it gets. So that just makes them cool. They're just cooler than the cool kids, like for sure. Better know a little bit of everything than a lot of any one thing and be autistic about it. That's one way to say it, dog. Sure. I chat GBT a bunch of Q&A questions to ask the chat in between calls. Go ahead and call in and tell me about the weird kid though. 540-JUDGING. That's 540-583-4464. And call in and tell me about the weird kid, especially if it was you. Share a memorable prank or practical joke involving the weird kid. Those are only going to be mean stories. AI doesn't know about people's natures, and they should know those are only going to be bad stories. Were you ever labeled as the weird kid or know someone who was? How did that label affect them socially? Not in a great way. Well, I'm getting a little warm. I've had 3 sips of beer and I'm sweating. Had to lift up my green screen to plug in a fan. To this day, I love the music and movies they put me on. I'm saying, I would have never seen Fight Club if it wasn't for these weirdos, you know? It's like, these are good movies you're seeing because of them. What was the most outrageous or eccentric thing a weird kid did? Yo, I have kind of talked about this, but I won't name any names. I'm not Cheddar. I'm not going to say Anthony Moore or whoever, but I went to school with this kid and he was in my English class freshman year and it was all good. We would like, he was like a normal weirdo and like some kids would kind of talk shit to him and he was kind of quiet and it was like, whatever. I wasn't saying anything to him. And then sometimes in fucking like we'd have to write shit and read it out loud. It would always be like some super dark or violent shit, like real red flag shit that where you would like, if you were the teacher and she'd been paying attention, you'd be like, ooh, like maybe call somebody. Like it was real weird shit all the time. And he lived like around the corner from my friend. And later that year, my friend's mom was like, why don't you guys go play with him? Go play with him. Just be nice and go play with him. And we're like, okay, we weren't mean. So we're like, all right. And we play with this fool. We're playing basketball. And then some other neighborhood kid comes out. They're like 5-6 years younger than us. They're young kids. They're like 9. And we're all playing basketball in the front. These kids start punking this fool. Like they picked up on it right away. These little kids, they're like, one of these little kids is really good at basketball. He's bouncing the ball off this fool's head. They're talking mad papas to him while we're playing. Like it was serious. Like I've never seen some little kids rip into like a teenager like this. Like he was upset. They were upset, I should say. And what ended up happening was the kids chased this fool off with the basketball. Like they were throwing the basketball enough that he was like, and he ran away. He ran past his house. Where did he even go? Like, and then years later, the where are they now is they're happier now, and it's a different scenario. I won't even get it. It's crazy. It was just like, oh, I was thankful that he actually didn't end up being violent. Like we heard him say violent and weird shit. Like I think he kind of leaned into it too. Once we were all like, oh, this dude's kind of weird. He would like write especially weird shit to read out loud in class, but it was also worrisome, like very worrisome. Hated the weird kids in high school. They shouldn't have been allowed around the rest of us. That's funny. I know you're kidding. Okay. Go ahead and call in. I'm bringing the Reddit up. Numbers up here. Call in. You ever seen a judge drink a beer? If your judge is drinking a beer, like, you might get to go home. Like, it's hopefully going to be good news. That girl that acted like she was a cat. All right. I remember. In elementary school, I was the weird kid. Here it is. For elementary school, I was the weird kid. I didn't talk until I was 5. That's tough, bro. That's scary. When kids don't talk, it's every parent. It's like one of a long list of parents' worst nightmares is when your kid won't talk. Hasn't happened to my kids, but I know people it has, and it's a spooky thing. Once I did talk, I knew like 20 words, and I only spoke when spoken to for about 3 or 4 years. So we're talking 8 or 9. This fool didn't talk really a lot until he was 8 or 9. There's more to this story. But at 5, when I just started talking, the local 10-year-old genius was also our neighbor, who was a genius, graduated at 12 or something. They shouldn't let 12-year-olds graduate high school. Like, high school's not hard, and you don't have to be smart to do it. But also, you're not old enough to do shit at 12. You can't have a job. You can't produce any useful thought. I don't care how fucking smart you are at 12. You can maybe do math, but that doesn't mean you can contribute almost anything useful. Like, because you just don't flesh stuff out enough. Everything's like at face value for even a really smart kid. Walked up to me and said, the answer to every question can be found through observing, and then walked off. That's all. That's all he said. That's funny. I, on the other hand, was and still am an absolute idiot. What I interpreted from what he said was the answer to every question is observing. Now, I knew this kid was smart, and I didn't. So I took what he said very seriously and unfortunately very literally. So he went back to not talking. My parents were freaking out. My school had to call my parents multiple times, and eventually we had a big meeting. I ended up landing me in therapy because for nearly a solid year, the only thing I ever said to anyone was observing. 2 times 2, observing. Do you want some tea? Observing. What's for TV? Observing. Why the hell are you such a fucking stupid kid? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Kids are so weird, bro. Like, even normal ass kids, it's normal to be weird as a kid. Kids are just weird as fuck. People are so weird. Like, it starts when they're babies. 14-year-old just graduated from Santa Clara and is now an engineer for SpaceX. Did they design that shit that blew up? I was one of the weird kids, kinda. My group of friends was the goth emo kids in our small community, but the rest of the group turned out to be furries, and then I distanced myself. Holy shit. What a turn. I mean, I like, you never know, I guess, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if I know anybody that is a furry, and I assume I don't, but you never know, I guess, right? And so when you know a bunch of fucking weirdos, it's like more than likely they're going to be into some weird shit, right? Man, I don't even know what I would do. Oh, what the fuck is this? It's a very small bug that's really troublesome over here. I don't think I got it either. Goth emo in a small community is way worse than the ones in the regular city. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that the goth kids in normal towns are just moody little fuckers. And I think the goth kids in like the very rural towns, like those are the ones that are into Satan and shit. Like there's a very fine, there's a fine line. Like collars, the whole thing. They eventually had to stop dressing up because they were confusing and upsetting the handicapped kids. What a crazy way to say that. That's fantastic. They had to stop dressing up like animals because it was confusing the handicapped kids. That's a fucking crazy thing to say. I'm here for it. First day back to smoking bud. Got super munchies with some taco salad. Now I'm gonna pass out. See you Wednesday. Yo, I haven't had a taco salad in many, many years. The first place I worked had a really delicious taco salad. That's the only reason I maybe ever had one. At my middle school, someone decided to get a little attention with a good old-fashioned bomb threat, except they thought the bomb threat meant literally writing bomb threat somewhere. Worse yet, they misspelled the fuck out of it and wrote boom threat. So we had to go on a brief, very awkward lockdown while the police checked the reader for booms. It's funny when like a malicious kid is also a fucking idiot. Like you can't even leave a note correctly. Every lunch, he would put a baguette in his sleeve and secretly eat it. That's fucking funny. I was friends with a girl that worked at Laboo, and some mornings in my first period, she would bring me like a little baguette and then I would eat it and sing the Aladdin song when he steals the bread. And that's because I'm annoying. That's not weird. Let this man eat his bread. One time they gave us, okay, part of every school lunch was a tiny bag of carrots. They made Michelle Obama, this was before Michelle Obama, but whoever was in charge of our school lunches made sure we all got a tiny bag of carrots. And what's like the problem with that is every tiny carrot is wet. And if you pinch these fuckers, you can shoot a carrot like fucking 30 yards. Like you can shoot the fuck out of one of these carrots. Like, and we would fucking launch these carrots every day at everyone we saw that was in a reasonable distance. They're getting hit with a goddamn carrot. And me and some dudes on the baseball team, like these are like the first group of like regular friends I have. I'm still dating like a weirder kid. Like I'm like right in the middle of all this shit. And they're fucking launching carrots at these fuckers at this table across the way. They're like younger weird kids. There is always division amongst the ranks of weird kids. Like you can't help it. The juniors always cap on the freshmen. Like it doesn't matter what accepting group you're in. I'm sure that the senior gay kids fuck up the fucking freshman gay kids. It's just there's a hierarchy of age that transcends all social groups. So like we're launching carrots at these younger weird kids. Yo, they freaked out. Like when he was like, he also didn't really swear a lot. So he was like, knock it off, you fucking fuck shits. And this was before rappers were saying fuck shit. Like this kid was, I thought he ended up being way ahead of his time. But at the time we were really making fun of him for not swearing right. So we're like, yeah, you fuck shits. We're saying fuck shits all the time. Now, I say it now when people are on some fuck shit, but it's not the same. It's not the same. I'm having another beer because I'm worth it. That fucking bottle cap launch out of here. He heard that you'd automatically get suspended if you peed your pants at school, and he wanted to find out if it was true, and he peed his pants and got suspended. That's probably not even a weird kid. That's just a dude who likes to stay home. Like he was like, you can get sent home for that. I gotta tell you, I might do that. This kid's not wrong. I can see why you broke your lighter. You're doing it wrong. I'm not doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. I'm gonna take a dab, my guys. Cheers. Ooh, I could dab right now, to be honest with you. Why would you get suspended for that? Because you're in big trouble. God damn it. This is no time for jokes. Had a kid nicknamed Cheeseburger in the grade ahead of me in high school. He got his nickname because when it was time for his class to go to lunch, he snuck into the roof and crawled his way into the cafeteria, dropped down, and proceeded to steal all the cheeseburgers put out for lunch. Unfortunately, they caught him in the act and sent him to the principal's office. A year later, he was caught stealing a teacher's computer. And in the process of being arrested, he bit the officer's hand, getting him sent to juvie and never heard from again. First of all, this kid sounds like a delight. Like, school is so much like fucking, I just saw this movie and I never read the book, so I could be totally wrong. But like in school, it's like it one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Like they will fuck you up if you're just disruptive. They could know you're not actually being bad. They will fuck you up just to shut you up. Like they will send you outside just so they don't have to fucking listen to it. Like you could just be kind of an asshole and not really being bad, and they will still full on jam you up, even from like the age of 7. Like just because you're a little disruptive. I mean, also what's crazy is usually when it's like you're in juvie, it's just done. Like once you're old enough, you're just done and that's it. So when they say they never heard from him again, it's because this fool fucking just went and got a job at Kohl's. And you know what I mean? Like he's still around. Last weird thing was she would blow her nose and then eat it. Bigger weird things were running headfirst into a wall, shouting that she's stupid if she didn't get the score she wanted. Another time running down the school field, the teachers chasing her, shouting, "I'm a ghost." Always announced she was pregnant because her boyfriend, who I don't know if was real, ejaculated. Her words, "on her knee." This sounds like before we knew what autism was type case, when there was just like the kids in the other class and then the ones that they still let be in your class, and there was no real good in between. That's what I'm hearing from this story. We had a guy who wore a dragon tail, believing he was a dragon. And the same story for a different guy, but his thing, he was wearing a cat bell. There were lots of rumors for the cat bell guy. Jesus Christ, bro. I mean, it's nice that it sounds like they were mostly just letting them do their thing. Like, they're probably fucking these kids up, but like in the story, it doesn't sound like we fucked with them every day, so I'm gonna assume they didn't. He would say very obscure elements from the periodic table and start singing about it as if it were his friend. We were like 7 or 8. Uh-oh, a genius. I'm hearing it. Child genius. I knew in my high school had a mouse living in his car. Not a pet mouse or anything, just a wild mouse. He would intentionally leave food in the back seat for it. I almost didn't believe it until I saw the thing running under the seat when he opened the door. He also wore a full cow suit to school one time, which freaked an autistic kid out who had a specific fear of cows. There was a lot of debate if he wore it to freak out the kid or not, or if he wore it just to be weird. That's crazy. He absolutely did it. If you guys knew that kid was scared of cows, so did he. And there's no coincidences in this world. That kid's just an asshole. But that's also kind of funny, but he's also an asshole. You dead ass wrong for that, bro, but I fuck with it. To feed a mouse living in your car is fucking ridiculous. It's gonna have 10 babies. You're gonna have rats in your car. Guess what? A wild mouse is a fucking rat. So this is gonna be a car full of rats in like 2 weeks. and they're going to be well fed. No good. No good. Maybe. Oh shit. Somebody's been fucking in the goddamn kick chat and I missed it. What's up, dog? Amen. Ayo. I wonder what these I hope he's responding to things I was saying that were good. How many times am I gonna burp into this mic while I'm drinking beers? I bet you it's more than a couple. Showing us a video he uploaded to YouTube of him cutting his poop in half with a hanger as it was laying in the toilet bowl. Edit, everyone asking for the video link. I'm sorry, I don't have the link and I'm too afraid to even attempt to find it on YouTube. Thinking about searching turd cutting in a toilet bowl seems dangerous. Yo, that's honestly, it's weird. That's weird and you shouldn't do that. But also, like, that's just something a young dude would do. Kids, all young men are fucking idiots and would do something like this. Like, I've never done anything that had anything to do with, bro, want to hear the story about this kid who got suspended from my school? Yes, I do. Please call 540-583-4464. Don't just put it in the chat. Drop a call, and I'd love to hear it. I do want to hear a story about what a kid got suspended from at school. That's exactly what we're doing here. Absolutely. This guy's name is Dr. P23 that's saying if I want to hear this story. So here's what I've learned. Like, I'm on TikTok all day, every single day. And what I've learned is everyone on social media that's younger than me is really good at picking out usernames. Most kids' usernames are very funny. Like, I see fantastic fucking TikTok names every day. Dr. P, that's funny. And it's simple. But that's what I'm saying. Dudes are idiots. I'm an idiot. My friend shit in the woods at Boy Scout camp and then wrapped it in toilet paper and lit it on fire. And we were all having a laugh about it. And then somebody kicked his shit at him and he got really scared and started stomping it out because it was on fire. And then he ran away to clean, like, I don't know, to clean his shoes or die. I don't know. And we all left and we came back like an hour later and the campsite was like fucking smoldering. Like, it wasn't a fire, but there was just tons of smoke because it was in like a bunch of green growth and shit. Like, it would have been a forest fire had it been unattended a little longer, but it was all just like live foliage, so it just fucking did not catch it. It was just hella smoke. We almost burned this whole shit down with some poop. Pretty great. Pretty great. Maybe one of the funniest things I ever saw happen while I was at Boy Scout anything. Do you care if I'm 16? I mean, don't make it weird, but no, I think it's fine. I'm not gonna say anything weird to you, so don't say anything weird to me, Dr. P. Kids on the bus used to get others' attention and show each other their balls like a movie Waiting. They thought it was hilarious, or passing their shoes around for others to smell just for shits and giggles. A few shoes flew out of the bus windows. Yo, there's like a whole different society of freaks that ride the bus home and very few normal kids. It's like a 80-20 split. And these kids on the bus are fucking jackals. I used to be one of them. Like, I get it. But if you hand somebody on the bus your shoe, they're gonna throw it out the window. Like, you should have seen that coming. Show each other their balls. I've done that. Like, I used to do that. We used to do that sometimes as a gag. Just because you'd be like, hey, do you need these? Or like, did you forget this? And then somebody would look back and your balls would be out. But that was before we knew that was bad. This was pre-cancel. And we never did it to anybody that didn't want to see your balls. It was just your friends. Like, it was. We weren't doing it to randos or ladies. We were just showing our friends. And I'm going to backpedal right out of that one. Ooh, we're getting a call. I bet you this is Dr. P. It has to be.
high school.
What's up, man? Sorry, I picked up right as you were screening. How you doing?
Oh, what's good, man? I was just in your chat.
Dude, I think you're the first
Kick
person
chat
to
or whatever.
call from Kick ever. So you did it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So, just tell me whenever you're ready for the story, because
I'm ready. Jump right
It
in.
had me laughing for like. All right. So, this kid from my school, I don't know if he had like mental issues or whatever, but he wasn't just like a normal kid. And one day on the bus home, he showed us. He was like he was sitting. He usually sat in the back of the bus, and he was like,
Oh, so he's
he was
cool.
like telling other people. He was like, "Hey, I got something cool I want to show y'all." So everybody's holding around this kid, and he just whips out a razor blade and he cuts the back of the seats up. And we didn't realize that the bus driver had already stopped the bus. So the bus driver stopped the bus. This kid's just going ham at it at the back of the seats. He's cutting it up. He's going to other seats, cutting them up. And he's over here acting cool or whatever. And then he's like, I guess he tried to throw gang signs at the camera or whatever. And the bus driver caught him like midway through him slicing through one of the seats. And he was like, the bus driver kicked him off the bus because we were still at the school. And the bus driver kicked him off the bus, sent him to the principal's office. And apparently he had like 2 knives in his bag and a couple other things, but he was just going ham on the back of the seat. And then 2 weeks later, he's back in school, and this kid shows up to school in like a full anime like cosplay thing. I don't really know what it was, but he had like the wig on, he had like the costume, he had the shoes and everything. And I think it was like a character from like JoJo's. Is that how you say it? JoJo's
I don't know.
Bizarre Adventure. I think
That sounds like
I've
the
seen
one.
it on
That sounds
Netflix.
familiar.
Yeah, and he was walking around school, and down the hall. I'm sorry, this cracks me up every time I say it, but down the hall, we could hear him like screaming at the top of his lungs at this teacher. And the teacher, I don't know what he was screaming at. So I walked down the hall, and apparently he was screaming at the teacher because the teacher wouldn't let him like wear the wig in class because it like covered his eyes or whatever. So the teacher wouldn't let him wear the wig, and this kid is just screaming in the hall, and everybody's crowding around, and he literally he's like, fine, if I can't wear my wig, then nobody will. And he takes a lighter out of his pocket and lights the wig on fire. He threw it into the bathroom because there was like bathrooms next to the teacher's door or whatever. He threw it into the bathroom and ran out the door. And I've never seen the kid since.
Never seen him since? Well, he for sure got expelled, but that's fucking crazy. Like, first of all, nobody was gonna wear the wig, so to even word it like that was fucking crazy. But that's so funny, because I also know it fucking went up, like, immediately. I know this shit was like a full-on fire right away.
Oh, yeah, no, because it was dry. He didn't take care of it, how people, like, who actually have to wear wigs, like how they condition it or they put lotion in it or whatever to make it shiny. I guess he just never took care of it, and he lit that thing up, and it caught his hand on fire a little bit too. So he like threw it in the bathroom, and he was waving his hand off, and he ran out of the door. And I heard the teacher on the radio go, some kid just like lit his wig on fire and threw it in the bathroom, and he's running out of school now. I need security. And like 5 minutes later, there's security cars or whatever rushing down the road. because they think he ran down the road into town or whatever. So he's in town, I guess, and the cops are looking for him. Our security guards are looking for him, and the teachers were like, "Everybody go back to their class. Everybody go back to their class." And then we're like, "We can't go back to our class now. That was just way too funny." Everybody was laughing their ass off in the hallway. It was a story in our school for like 3 years until like everybody just dropped it.
That's too funny. Bro, it's crazy he was even there to do that. Like, when I went to school, like, I don't know how it is now, but when I was in high school, like, if you had a knife or anything, it was like a straight expulsion. Like, there was like a 0 tolerance for like any weapons. Like, kids would get suspended for stupid shit. It was so strict. Like, you would get expelled for like, oh, like you could have kids got. I saw somebody get expelled for like a BB gun. I saw somebody get expelled for just a fake, like a full on toy gun. Like, you could get expelled for a toy gun.
The ones you buy at Walmart?
Yeah, bro, it could be
the
anything.
Ones you buy at Walmart that like light up?
Yeah, any of it, bro. Anything. Like I don't even like. I'm sure you wouldn't get expelled over a dart gun, but it wasn't out of the question, bro. Like, it was not out of the question. Cause this was maybe like, I think Columbine happened when I was in like elementary school. So like by the time I was in high school, like 4 or 5 years later, like they did nothing for like, they didn't change laws, but the schools were all like, all right, if you have a gun, you're definitely not coming back to school. Like they were like, it was very strict.
Yeah, no, my school is a little different because it's kind of more of a southern school. So like the teachers are, laid back. But we got kids coming to school with like pocket knives and stuff, and the teachers are okay with that. But I mean, like this kid, when he was cutting up the seats or whatever, he had a full-on like box cutter that you had to like flip open, and it was one of those heavy duty ones. So he got suspended for that, and when I went to school with this kid, I went to school with him from like elementary school all the way up until like, I've never seen him again, but he's always been getting expelled.
He's just always been crazy?
Yeah, no, he's always been crazy.
Man.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I should. Nah, my brother probably wouldn't care. So, back in elementary school, when me and my brother went to school together, he was in the special needs classes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he said something to a teacher, and the teacher got mad. So the teacher was going to send him to the principal's office, but my brother like bit a chunk out of like the teacher's arm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he full on like. I mean, it wasn't like a big chunk, like a full on like a mountain lion attacked you or something. But it was like he was still bleeding.
So what kind of punishment do you get for that if you bite the teacher? Is that an expulsion or?
He didn't get expelled because he was in special needs classes, but he got sent to like a special needs school.
Oh damn! So it's still pretty serious.
Yeah, he got shipped off to a different school. I remember one time in middle school, I got suspended because we usually do like pranks in the bathroom or whatever, where we would like bring shaving cream to school and we would like smear it all over the toilets or whatever. And the one day that I'm doing it, because I never did it, but the one day that I did, the principal walks in. So I get taken down to the principal's office, and they're talking to me. They're like, why would you buy shaving cream and smear it all over our stuff? You know we got to clean that, right? And I was like, well, it was funny at first. and then I kid you not, some other teacher walks in, and he's like, hey, we gotta go clean up the bathroom or something, because some kid ran in there and smeared crap all over the walls. I'm talking, because I had to walk in there with the principal, because the principal didn't want to leave me alone in the office, because I probably
he thought
would have
you were
just
about
walked out.
Put shaving cream all over his fucking desk.
I probably would have. But we walk in there, or me and the male principal walk in there, and it's just everywhere. It's on, like, it was on the ceiling, it was on the urinals, it was in the stalls, it was in the sink.
Oh, that sounds like so much touching poop. Like you're touching so much poop to do all that.
Yeah, and apparently it was blamed on some weird kid at the school, but me and like a group of people think it was this one really, really Southern kid, like one of those Southern kids who wear cowboy hats to school, wear the boots, the jeans.
It's got like the Carhartt jacket, like the calfskin one.
Yeah, the Carhartt jacket. The guy, they were thinking it was him, because he came into school smelling like cow manure.
Oh, he smelled like shit. Yeah, if you're smearing your shit all over one room, like, you're gonna smell like shit. There's no getting around that. Like, even a full shower might not do it. Like, to think that you just went back to school in those clothes, like you for sure smelled like shit.
He had to have put like a full can of Axe body spray on, bro.
No way, man. That's like that's not like it happens. That happens a lot. Like I used to see, and the high school bathroom is like the worst bathroom you can be in, besides like a baseball stadium bathroom. Like it's like a top 5 worst bathroom. You would see shit like in the urinal. You would see shit like on the floor. So like at that point, like I have seen it smeared on the walls, but not like a ton, not all over all at once. But I have seen like single shits all over the fucking bathroom in a men's restroom at school. Like it's a very dirty place.
At our school, we have a really big like vaping problem or whatever, and they're at our every time I go to the bathroom, and it's not like early in the morning, because I don't really use the bathroom in the school, because like you said, it's like top 5 worst bathrooms to be in.
Yeah.
But I don't really use the bathroom in school, so I'm in there, right? I go in there, it's like maybe noonish, so we're about like halfway through the day, and I go in there, and one of the urinals has like at least 5 vapes in it.
I wonder if those kids quit. Like those are kids that just quit smoking. Like it's actually a good thing.
No, it's not. It's not the kids that quit smoking. It's the kids that don't want to get caught by the teacher.
Oh, so they just fucking huck it in there.
Yeah, they throw it in the urinal. I seen one kid get suspended because she dropped her vape in the hallway and tried to step on it, and the principal watched it happen. I was standing in front of my classroom door talking to one of my friends, and she dropped it. Because I watched it. She dropped it. She stepped on it, and then the teacher was like, the principal was like, "What's under your foot?" And she was like, "There's nothing under my foot." And the principal was like, "I just watched you drop your vape out of your pocket and step on it."
And there was no getting out of it, I assume.
There was no getting out of it. So the principal walked off with like, I guess it was one of those like vapes that you like gotta put like a cartridge into or whatever. Like you put a cartridge into it and then you like use it or whatever. And she came up to me and my friend, and she's like, hold this for me. And I'm like, what? And she shoved this vape cartridge into my pocket.
That's tight. Good for her. Did you do it?
I didn't hold on to it. One of her friends came by me because I had it. He texted me because he knew I had it on me. So he stopped by one of my other classroom periods, and he picked it up. But I didn't get caught with it. But
yeah, that's tight. It's tight you didn't
Oh,
get caught, and it's cooler that you still did it. Like, it's cool that you weren't like, this isn't my shit. Like, it sounds like you don't vape or you're not into anything like too risky or whatever. So it's like for you to still be cool with it, that means you're a cool guy. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, because I don't smoke because my dad smokes and he has bad lungs or whatever, and I don't want to, grow up having bad lungs.
Yeah.
But it's I don't if somebody like is like hold this, I gotta go get searched, because at our school you can get called out for like random drug tests, random searches, like
That's
random
crazy.
like narc dogs or whatever. Like they'll bring the dog into the office and have them smell your backpack.
That's crazy. They would catch me all the time. Like I there wasn't a day at school I didn't smell like weed. Like my senior year, probably. Like they would have had me. Or worse.
Like,
Sometimes it was not just weed. So
Like I eat edibles.
mhm.
Like I eat edibles, but that's only like once in a blue moon,
Well,
But
it's fun.
But it's like, but it's like there's so many kids that do stupid stuff at my school. This one kid got suspended because he was running down the hall, and the teacher told him to stop. So he stopped or whatever, and he went around the corner. And our school doesn't have that many like teachers of color or whatever. We only have like 2 or 3. And he runs around the corner and he's like, "Oh, well, yeah, you stupid." And then he says the N-word hard R, because my friend had a recording of it. And he said the N-word hard R. And then one of the teachers of color that we have at our school stepped out of his classroom and heard what he said.
And then what happened?
The teacher, what it looked like from the video, the teacher honestly looked like he wanted to fight him.
That sounds right. That sounds good.
Because the kid was a senior, and I guess he was like 18 or whatever, and the teacher looked like he was like ready to like, not
Ready to risk it
out.
all. Yeah.
But it was. There's a lot of crazy stuff that happens at my school.
What state is this in?
They're West Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's the most crazy stuff happens in the states that you least expect it from.
I would think that crazy shit is happening in West Virginia, actually. I'm hearing it. That sounds right to me.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this one guy down our street, he got arrested because either I can't remember his name, because you could search his name up, but he got arrested for like, he had, I think, like 145 pounds of weed in his like basement.
That guy would probably had a good amount of money. Like that guy probably had more money than you'd expect.
Oh yeah, no, he lived in like a big house. He lived in like one of those like, I don't live in like a suburban area. I kind of live in like a local town, but like he lived in one of those fancy, really nice like suburban houses.
Ooh, man. Yeah, I mean that happens. That for sure happens. When you live somewhere where the more illegal weed is where you live, like the more valuable it is, obviously, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it's a personal thought, but I really think they should just like, legalize cannabis or whatever. Like,
yeah, oh, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
all throughout the United States. Because
you said it, friend.
If it's legal, then, crime rate, because that's like, it's like 50% of the crime rate is drug dealing alone in my state. Like, actually not even 50, it's like 70%.
Wow.
And if they legalize it, that like crime rate is going to go down like a lot.
Yeah.
Because like half of it is it's cannabis.
Man, you actually have seen a lot of crazy shit at school. I appreciate you calling in, dude.
Oh, no problem. I got tons more stories. I could go on for hours.
Yeah,
I
well, we
could
got
go-
we got
I-
lots of topics, bro. I'm sure we'll have more topics that you can call in for. So drop a follow on Kick, because I only have like 6 Kick followers, so you're in now. You're in there.
I should have followed. It's a little heart thing, like how you follow people.
I think so. Thanks a lot, man.
Cause I'm used to Twitch. I'm used to like Twitch and TikTok.
Yeah, I'm still. If you can find me on TikTok, that'd be cool too. I can't go live on TikTok yet because I have under 1K, but that's like the only social that I'm under 1K on. So yeah, dude. We have a ton of topics.
I don't know.
So.
I don't really like going. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem for calling in here talking about stories. I've had. I think in elementary school I set the record for most suspensions in a year.
Damn, that's crazy. How do you get suspended from elementary school?
Don't ask me. I got suspended like when I mean suspension, I mean like ISS, like in school suspension.
Okay.
Where you have to sit in the principal's office, do all your work or whatever. But I think I was suspended in 1 year like 23, 24 times.
Damn, that's crazy. That's a lot of times.
But that was just because I had really bad ADHD and I didn't have, medicine for it.
Yeah, they don't know what to do with kids like that, bro. They put my desk in the corner. That was their answer for that one.
Oh yeah, no, they put me in the corner. They would sit me outside of the classroom because like the teachers didn't know how to handle kids with ADHD.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if it's even better now, but I hear you.
It's really not because I have to be up doing something, right? Because that's how my ADHD is. I have to be like up moving around, or I have to be up like standing at least. And they didn't let me, like stand near my desk or whatever till like the 8th grade.
Okay. At least they're accommodating you. Like at least they started accommodating you now. That's better.
Yeah. Well, it's I don't know, because it's worse in a lot of places. I mean, some schools they don't even let you like they don't even let you like have free time, because we get like, well, I kind of say it's a free period, but my lunch is really early in the morning. It's at like 10 o'clock in the morning. So they let us go and like go out and like the school or whatever and go sit in your classroom and do work.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go, bro. Thank you for calling. I hope to hear from you again. Hello? Are you still there?
Oh yeah, sorry. My dad popped in my room for a second.
You're good, bro. I'm gonna let you go, but thanks for calling.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for letting me call you.
Till next time, man.
Have a nice night.
You too.
Till next time.
He's a good kid. And our 7th Kick follower, we're out here. We're out here on Kick, bro. Great Uncle Meatball on Kick. Fuck yeah, man. He has heard a lot of weird shit at school. High school, we had a new kid, Larry, who I unfortunately nicknamed Scary Larry within my group, and it spread like wildfire. Used to talk about people's auras and threaten them based on that. Had a wireless Xbox headset, and he'd talk to people with, even though he wasn't connected to anything. He'd have full combos with himself, sounded like covert ops or some shit. How many times he got in a lot of fights just for people looking at him? Damn, he's weird and aggressive. A tough combination. That's wild. Locker only ever had 3 things in it. His American flag cape, one of those foldable Razor scooters, and a box turtle. That's almost nothing. That none of those things should be in a locker. got mad that he didn't understand how to play a game at lunchtime, so he started hitting and punching the nearest person to him, who happened to be me. When I shoved him away and asked him what the hell he was doing, he whipped his dick out and charged at me. When I shoved him away from me again, he started crying and ran away with his dick still out. Damn. That's wild. It sounds like, I mean, I don't know if that sounds like 100% normal kid. Normal's not the right word. I shouldn't have said that, but so it sounds like there's more to that story. It's not good. It's not good. Good for, so how'd the teachers handle that? No teacher saw, and I guess everyone was too lazy to tell a teacher. If there's no repercussions, it didn't happen. Lie. That's where I'm leaning on that one. 540-583-4464. That's a 540 judging. Call in. That's easily got to be the youngest kid I've let call this show, probably. But he had good stories. He gets it. Boy in middle school gym class said he had to go to the bathroom. Teachers wouldn't let him go. A few minutes later, he shook his leg of his shorts and shit fell out. Teachers wrote him up and he walked off the field yelling at them that they should have just let him go shit in peace. That's 100% their fault. Homie just needed to poop. When you have to poop, you have to poop. Like I'm like that now. Like nobody could ever stop me from pooping. I would never just shit my pants like as a protest, but you couldn't stop me from pooping, bro. I'd like to see you try. Share a story where the weird kid showed a different side of their personality or revealed hidden depths. That's very insightful, ChatGPT. Thank you. Did the weird kid have any unique talents or abilities that surprised you? Yeah, he was fucking terrifying. Jumping on the giant Christmas tree from the second floor balcony. That was the last time they put a Christmas tree at our school. They shouldn't have Christmas trees at schools. That's the rules. But that's very funny. Had this weird kid in high school asked the teacher to use the bathroom. She said no. This dude legit stabbed his hand with a pencil, went all the way through, and then asked if he could go now. Shit was wild. That is wild. To add to this was Pearl High School in Mississippi. This was the school. Oh, shit. Late 1997. That's early to be in high school. Like I was still in school. I was like in elementary school then. So that's still an old dude. That's extra old to me. I'm old and he's older. Ooh, my other lights went out and now this light's making me look shiny. I need a powdering. Cool judge. Related story, but this girl wasn't a weird kid. She asked to use the bathroom during class with a male teacher. He said no, and he told her to hold it. She straight up in front of the entire class said, "I cannot hold my blood from pouring out of my vagina." Got up and left the classroom. That you should leave. If a teacher tells you you can't get up and go to the bathroom, fucking go. There's no reason they should be doing that. They should just let you go. I wasn't even going to the bathroom a lot of the times I was saying that. They should have still let me go. There's no reason for you to be like, you can't go to the bathroom, sit the fuck down. Unless you're an asshole. Like you just want to be in control because you're an asshole. First grade, there was a kid who stood by the sink in the bath of the classroom eating bits of those brown paper towels. The teacher was constantly telling him to stop and go back to his seat. That kid's like a doctor now. That's it's probably not. In first grade, I used to eat the gray paper they give you in math class. Oh, the scratch paper they would give you when you were doing math was terrible. It like had a texture to it. Why was that? We were using lined paper for everything else. There was a stack of lined paper for everybody in the classroom. Why were they like, hey, here's math time. There's some really shitty paper to do it on. threatened to whip her tampon out over his trash can. She should have. That's right. That's not wrong. The compulsion to eat the paper was too strong to resist. Turned out a lot of small children eat this stuff when they're iron deficient or anemic. Once my doctor put me on iron pills, I stopped wanting the paper. What the fuck? So the fact that lots of kids were doing that is weird. That's weird. Oh my God, there's so many replies to that one. I'm not gonna read them, but like a lot. Look at that. A lot of replies. Separate, but similar thread. That other one was still going. I just felt like switching. I don't know why. He wrote in my yearbook, when I was 6 years old, I went into a cornfield. I didn't realize it was a maze. I was stuck there for several days without food or water. When they found me, the doctor said I'd never be the same. Good luck in college. That's funny. There's no value in a funny yearbook quote. Like, there's zero value in it. But at the time, it seems like a good idea. There were so many bomb threats at our school. They removed all the stall doors in the bathrooms and the doors to the bathrooms themselves. I don't think they ever caught the kids. Most of the bathrooms at my school were not closed. All student bathrooms were open. None of them had a closing door in my high school for sure. We did have stalls, but I would have really hated to not have stalls. I was pooping at school a lot. A lot. The weird kid stole a car, crashed it, and lost both legs at 17. A few years later, he did it again. But this time he stabbed one of the Good Samaritans who tried to help him and shot the other one. He then led the police on an 8-hour manhunt through tropical jungle by detaching his prosthetics and hiding under the leaves and mud. Using a makeshift raft to escape. This is a lie. I read too far into this and it is a lie. Armed and legless. Yep. God damn it. See? I hate these fuckers that... I'm friends with a lot of comedians that do this too. There is zero excuse to tell a long story to tell a pun at the end. You suck and I hate you. Like a 3-minute setup so you can tell a 1-sentence pun that you kind of made up when you were bored. Fuck you. Fuck you. For sure, I hate that. I hate the guy who wrote this message and I hate the people I'm talking about that I know. So it's... The weird kid in our class's name... To drop their name is crazy. To drop their name is crazy. He made an album of electronica called Hook Anthems, and each one of the soundtrack for a different mundane task in his life. He sold one copy to a math teacher. It's also one of my life forgets that I didn't buy one too. Yo, if somebody tries to sell you some weird music, fucking buy it. There was this Filipino dude that was always hanging out at the Beach Hut Deli that I used to hang out at. It was like a sandwich shop, and my friend worked there. And my friend got his CD. The dude gave him a CD, and we put it in my car, and I listened to it all the fucking time. It was this Filipino dude singing Eagles covers. Like, it was all Eagles songs. Hotel California, all these songs. I would give anything to have that CD still. I want it so bad. It was so funny. I would give anything to play it for you right now. Said he was Sonic the Hedgehog, and when someone asked his name, he would say, "I am Sonic," and run as fast as he could. He even wrote his name as Sonic on homework and tests. Most people never knew his real name. I hope this dude ate chili dogs. I hope that's the next sentence I read. Edit. This does not take place in the US, sadly. So most likely the person you're thinking of isn't the same one I'm referring to. I'd like to hear your stories though. That means people who commented also knew a Sonic kid. That means that Sonic had these kids in a fucking chokehold in the 90s. I was playing Sonic a lot. I never thought I was Sonic, but like I was playing all the Sonics a lot. Ooh, I just dropped my phone. Put a pig fetus head on the English teacher's car antenna. They shouldn't make kids dissect weird shit in science class. It's gross. And when you put gross shit in a school like that, it's this shit like this is going to happen. You let a kid cut up a dead pig, parts of dead pig are going to be found in other parts of the school. That's the administration's fault. That's not even the kid. The kid who did it is also a fucking weirdo because I would never do that. But other kids would. And kids will always do shit like that if you make them, like, if you let them. So, like, the district, wrong. Just threw my gavel. This is the second pig fetus story I've seen as an answer to this question, which is a lot, but still more than, which isn't a lot, but more than I would have expected. Yeah, I don't know if it's because I only took ag, which also seems like where you might do it, but I never had to dissect any weird shit, and I'm thankful for that. I hope I still don't ever have to, and I'm sure I won't. It'd be weirder if it happened now. It'd be weirder if I had to dissect something now, for sure. The albino kid in school, they say he said that like every school has one. The albino kid at our school. I haven't taken a sip of this and I just found out it's a fucking icy. Oh, it's so good. Oh my God. I almost just let that sit there and melt because I thought it was a fucking soda and it's a delicious Coca-Cola icy. Woo! The albino kid at our school, he would take off running down the hallway with one hand straight out in front of him and yell, "White lightning!" It was weird, but everyone liked him. That's so funny. That sounds funny. Poured his juice on the table at lunch and sucked it and kept his mouth over it and inhaled it like a Hoover when you put it directly on a hard floor. He's a lawyer now. Exact same story. One of my best friends growing up, we were getting drunk playing Pong with liquor in my friend's garage. And this fool dropped like a full bottle of vodka on this garage floor and it shattered. And without missing a beat, he dropped down and started sucking vodka off the floor of this fucking garage. He's a fucking engineer. He's maybe the smartest person I know. He was ready to swallow broken glass for a bit. That's as funny as you can be. If you're willing to die for a bit, you're a very funny person. Not sure if he'd done with anything else. He drew a picture of SpongeBob and Charizard brutally killing me and my friend, and then willingly showed it to us. I couldn't help but laugh, but it was actually very well drawn. I like that kid. Yo, if you drew a picture of anything killing me, I would fucking frame it and put it right up here in this courtroom. That's a hilarious thing to do, and if I could draw, I would do that. I'm glad that they're a good sport about it. Like, that's fucking funny. Hey, JJ just liked the stream on Instagram. JJ, I love you, and I can't wait for you to come to America. I'm still the weird kid at school. How about your brother? Is Alfie the weird kid at school? What are the chances he'd comment while I was saying something nice to him directly? Yes, I fucking love ices. I have trying not to eat anything sweet almost at all, and I've like said no to almost every dessert, but I cannot say no to an icy or a Slurpee. So please don't bring me one. This shit is delicious and I'm gonna drink it all, but I can't do that. I can't do that a lot. Hi, laddie. There it is. There's my guy. Come to America, JJ. We're ready for you, dog. Since I can't think of anything, does that make me the weird kid? Like if you can't find a sucker at the poker table? I mean, everybody does weird shit. That's why it's an open topic. We can all call. Oh, what the fuck? My mic just redlined. Did it sound crazy? I don't know why that happened. I'm sorry. That's why it's an open topic. Everybody's fucking weird, and we're all weird for a spell. Like we're all doing weird shit when we're young. So this isn't just a thread to call in and bully people. Though that is also fine. I'm here for that. Jerked off under a table during history. Often. Oh, no, he punctuated this sentence badly. He says, he jerked off under the table during history, parentheses, often, threatened me with a knife while I was on a walk. Okay. There was no period, so I didn't know if he was jerking off often or threatening people with a knife often. But it says while I was on a walk with a friend. Threatened to hire someone to fight me. This kid just sucks. That's not a threat. That's just something an idiot says. Though you could hire me to fight someone. Like that's never happened. No one's ever been like, here's $20, go fight that guy. So that's like a dumb thing to say he threatened you with because it's not even a real threat. But also on the flip side of that, I would beat somebody up for some money. So I get it. It's not as outlandish as it sounds. I don't think it does happen, but it could. How much money you got? I remember he regularly pissed off every kid in school, and I don't know how many times I have to save him from getting beat up. Why would you save him? Why, if he tried to stab you, just let him get beat up. I almost want to say he deserved every ass kicking he almost got. Another kid seemed fully convinced he was a Time Lord from Doctor Who. That's no good. Same kid was the kid that hisses at other people. You never know what show a kid is going to get overly attached to, and it can make this kid a weird little fucker. So you can't let him only watch kid stuff because then they're also weird. But like, you never know. It's just a roll of the dice. My kid watches Big Bang Theory. I can't fucking stand that shit. But I'm thankful for that she's not this weird Doctor Who kid. You know what I mean? Call in 540-583-4464. I will shut this Reddit shit down and never open it again. Call in and tell me about the weird kid at your school. Why is this one lined up in red? Because it's extra good? A few days before a pep assembly, anonymously posted signs all over school saying the cock is coming. Teachers and school administrators were obviously concerned, but clueless. They smuggled in a live rooster into the assembly and partway through the opening speech of the assembly, whipped it out over his head as it went ape shit. Entire gym full of kids stood up and started shouting cock. Was not skiing at school for a few days after that. First of all, like to catch a 3 or 5 day suspension even over that, totally worth it. That's pretty, it's not hilarious, but like the more trouble you get in, the funnier it becomes. So like, oh god damn it. That is so good. Concerned and pleased with the outcome because, you know, hearing the cock is coming is something that ends with someone in jail. That's funny. White people make pasta alla vodka. Is that the main dish? I've never had pasta with vodka sauce. I know it's really popular, but I've never had that. I'm responding to a text saying I've never liked vodka sauce. That might be a sign that I could get off the show right now. kidnapped a kindergartner from the bus stop and brought her to school claiming it was her daughter. That's fucking crazy. That's an actual crime. That's fucking wild. Like, their parents were freaking out. That kid's parents were freaking out. The older kid's parents were freaking out. The bus driver got in trouble. Some administrators got fired. Like, this is a multi-level fuck up for a weird kid story. Holy shit. What a thing to look up to. He was generally very weird and erratic. One day he extracted a huge slimy booger out of his nose, turned around to me and my friend and told us all, guys, look. And then he stuffed it back into his nose. Putting a booger back in your nose is crazier than eating it. Like, eating a booger is disgusting and inexcusable. But taking a booger out and then putting it back in your nose, that's a fucking crazy person. There is something very wrong there. I'm worried just reading that. One day I asked him why he was so weird, and he told me with a straight face, the jester's cap affords one many liberties. That's so funny. So I don't know if he was just weird or like a secret genius or maybe a bit of both. That is true. Like, when you're a goof, and I am one, people expect very little of you. They are often surprised when you say something smart or funny at all. They know you're funny and it's still a big surprise. So I like that. You have very little responsibilities when you're a fucking goofball. Like, this fucking idiot really said something there. I'm not gonna take that one to heart, but I really get what he was saying. I know he didn't like make that quote up. Like, I know that's from somewhere, but it's good. I watched the bootleg of this Spider-Man movie because I was scared I was going to see all the spoilers, and I almost did. And it was fantastic. I can't wait to go see it for real in theaters. A delight. Real quick, I always forget to do my ad read, but a quick shout out to Mountain. Mountain is a proud sponsor of this show. It's a technological sponsor of this show. They have a ton of great products. This display pad is, you can program these buttons to do anything. Like, there's like a wide variety of things that are integrated with this thing, and you can literally have it set up games or things you use to edit videos. It can be used for anything. It's super useful. It pairs really. I got the keyboard that they have, their Everest Max keyboard. It's like the fucking nicest keyboard I've ever seen. You can like choose what kind of switches it comes with. It has a ton of different options. It's got a really cool little media dial on top where I have my little logo on it. Really cool. Mountain, check them out. I think their website is mountain.gg. If you need they have a new mouse that just came out too. If you need any kind of peripherals for your computer, I highly suggest looking them out. It's a very great company. They make some really cool shit. I think a lot of people are sleeping on them. So check it out, Mountain. I love you guys. Sorry, I never do the ad read for this show. Not never. I do sometimes, but not all the time. And I know I really should. So, whoopsie doopsie. Whoopsie daisy. She barked at people and tried to scratch behind her ears with her foot, sniff people's butts at recess. She was 14. The first day of 8th grade, this was like the first real taste I had of feeling like I had some power. There was no power, but for some reason, once you're the oldest group of kids at the school, something switches in your head. And I would see these little kids, like this is their first day of 7th grade. I barked maybe at like 10 kids real close up in their face. They all freaked out. It was not nice. I shouldn't have done it. I wouldn't even do that. Like, you know what I mean? It's not even I'm not a weird barking kid. So that's, even if you read a story like this, maybe the story's about me. I don't know. It says she, so it's probably not. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I was mostly just trying to punk these kids. I didn't think I was a dog, but also, why was I doing that? Because I'm an idiot. Oh my God, you had a dog girl? We had a cat girl. How is this the second or third cat girl we've heard about? Like that's, oh, I forgot to turn this shit off. That's so funny. Can't believe my most upvoted comment is about cat girl. That's funny. Think I found her. She has a newborn as of this year. No cat ears on either of them, which is good, I guess. That's pretty funny. I wasn't going to read this one because it looked too long, but I skimmed the first sentence and it might be worth it. Guy in junior high had an unsightly amount of earwax and was obsessed with James Bond. He claimed was his uncle. He would proudly proclaim that James Bond will kick your ass to anyone that questioned his affiliation with James Bond, made fun of James Bond in any fashion, or denounced James Bond. He would literally get into fist fights. Why can't I read? Am I stupid? Am I a stupid person? We get into fist fights over the honor of James Bond. That's so funny. You know what's worse is like, this kid's real uncle was probably like, no, I'm James Bond. Like that's not, I don't go by James Bond because I'm a spy. But all those movies, they're about me. Like that's something your uncle would tell you. Like that's like this kid has a cool uncle. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm James Bond. Let's go do some spy shit. And they're going to the park. Like it's a cool guy. Then this kid goes to school and he's like, my uncle's James Bond. And they're like, shut up, bitch. Your uncle's not James Bond. Then he tries to fight because he's hanging out with James Bond every weekend. I just made that whole scenario up and I got very upset about it. I'm getting a little emotional right now. There was a girl in my elementary school who never wore shoes and was known for her impressive farting skills. I'll never forget the day when our class was sitting on the library floor during a lecture. Oh, a fart in the library? A school library is like they're quieter than any place could ever be. They're much quieter than a public library. An elementary school library, because kids feel like you'll die if you're allowed in the library. So you could hear a fucking pin drop in there. To think about a really loud fart in the library, I'm ready to laugh about it right now. No, I'm not even going to read the rest of this shit. I'm just going to enjoy thinking about farts. After one of my female friends rejected his advances, he proceeded to jump off his roof twice and broke both of his arms. Second thing, he made a wooden weed pipe and wood shop and then tried to smoke out of it in class. That's tight. I mean, the first part's not good, but the second part is funny. I wonder if this is the same kid. How did he smoke and make the pipe if he had two broken arms? Another weird kid who I might mention had cognitive disability. Oh, then you shouldn't tell the story. Like if you know that you shouldn't bring it up, then don't. Michael keeps saying he's going to convince the kids that Ohio doesn't exist. Wish us luck. That's funny. You could tell them that it's like a myth. Like you could tell them it's like a conspiracy from the government. They tell people Ohio exists for tax reasons. There's some lie you can get a kid to believe that. If I went into the kids' room right now and I was like, they always say there's 50 states, but some of them aren't real. They would be like, what? Like kids trust you. You build that trust for years. And it's so sweet and they'll always listen to you. And the best part is you can really fucking lie to them about some really dumb and crazy shit just because they want to believe you. Like playing on that trust is one of the most fun things you can do as a parent. Please tell your kids Ohio doesn't exist. Please tell them that's what you're supposed to do. Okay. We heard about a lot of freaks today. Not really. But I read about a lot. We got a couple calls. This is as little calls as this show has had, like 3 episodes in a row. One episode, I was like, sure, no big deal. That happens to everybody. 2 episodes I was like, you know what? It's not going to be a bunch of callers every time. This is the 3rd one in a row. Not a lot of callers. So very strange. I don't know why. Let's fix it. I don't know how, but let's get it popping. I sure would like to fix it. We're going to have a good time. I think overall the show's still going good. I'm going to chop up a bunch of clips tomorrow, and maybe one of them will be popular. Who knows? Anything could happen. And we will be back on Wednesday. I don't have the topic. Let's formulate a topic for Wednesday. Yo, I don't know if this is going to be broad enough. But what if it's, I just saw somebody do this on TikTok. What about craziest thing you ever found on someone's phone? Is that good? Let's see. What else do I got written down? Spooky stories? Ghost stories? If I gotta tell you, here's the warning. If we do an episode that's ghost stories, almost every call is gonna be me saying, you're a fucking idiot. That's nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Almost every time I'm gonna be like, yeah, it was just nothing. Vacation stories. I think we did vacation stories once. Worst thing that's happened on a date. I would love to do another dating one. I'm gonna have to think of a dating topic for Wednesday. We're doing it. My birthday is this weekend, so I think we're gonna do birthday stories on Friday. Worst birthdays or bad birthday stories. Ooh, worst food I've eaten. That sounds like a good one, Ched. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like a very good one. I'm thinking about it. Worst thing I ever ate, Wednesday. I'm calling it. If it's bad, it's your fault. I'll see you guys Wednesday night for tell me about the worst thing you ever ate. And I'm going to tell you if you should have known that was going to be bad. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Drop a follow, drop a sub. Please go follow me on TikTok. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Court is adjourned.